Start my truck, let's all jump in. Here we go together. Nice cool breeze and big palm trees. I tell you, life don't get no better. Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now.
Welcome viewers to another episode of Talk the Talk with me, Desh, and thank you for joining us again. In this episode, we will be reviewing the JMC Changan minivan. In our first segment, Let's Talk Car of the Week with Nita Stadler. Our second segment, Let's Talk Tips, we will be discussing manufactured SABS approved versus non-SABS approved windscreens with our Talk Tips specialist Ashley Roos. In our final segment, we have our talk of the town, Gina Giani, the owner and dealer principal of Gina Motors.
Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go, ane. Chucking more fina, anane. Chucking more fina.
Welcome, Nita, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dee.
Okay, so viewers, even though Changan's utility vehicles are not that popular in the South African market, I've noticed recently it is rapidly becoming more of a household name. This is because of its reasonable price tag. It is so economical that it is situated in a spot in the market with almost no competitors. Buyers will either have to settle for a smaller vehicle or pay a considerably larger amount of money for a bigger van. Nita, who do you think would look into buying the Changan minivan?
Dee, this minivan is a versatile vehicle, and that's, in my opinion, one of its strongest points. It can be used for just about anyone, any facet of life, but I think those who will benefit from it the most will be moms transporting larger families. The Changan is a 7-seater and is easy to drive, which makes a great city shuttle bus. Mom will also appreciate its affordability, as they don't always have extra cash laying around and need to save up every bit.
Okay, so Nita, please tell us more about the Changan minivan's appearance.
Well, Dee, firstly, it's clear in the physique of the Changan that it's function focused. It's elevated but slender, that I find absolutely adorable. There is also a petite grille guard in the front for additional protection. If a bumper bash should occur, you will be fine.
Okay.
In the front, you will find a big black bumper, a tiny grille, and 2 endearing headlights. These headlights are upswept and are, in my opinion, a perfect finish to the front of the vehicle. The minivan also has 2 sliding doors for more convenient loading and offloading.
Okay, so Nita, can you tell our viewers a bit more about the feel of the Changan, the minivan inside?
The inside of this minivan is also utility centered, but what I like about it is the fact that it is neatly laid out, so the cabin always feels clean and airy. The driver's seat is rather comfortable and legroom is decent, so you don't have to worry about your knees coming to your ears when you're changing a gear. And a neatly designed fascia and durable materials all contribute to the vehicle's utility status. I think the materials used on the seats are a smart move on the manufacturer's part, as it will be really easier to clean up all those messes and spills that the kiddies always bring in.
Yeah.
Its boot, well, it's actually a loading area in the sense of width and length, and this means that all the children's school bags can be loaded in there, and there will be even a bit of extra room for more luggage.
Okay, so Nita, tell us a bit more about the Changan's features.
Yes, Dee, in terms of specs and entertainment, its budget consciousness starts to appear. It does, however, have a few features such as air conditioning and heating, 2 speakers and a radio, as well as an auxiliary port to ensure some fun. To protect the vehicle from sticky fingers, the Changan is also fitted with a steering anti-theft lock. Dee, the Changan is a multifunctional vehicle and has all the necessary features to have you driving comfortably and with peace in your mind in day-to-day driving.
Okay, so now for my driving experience, viewers. With a 1.3-liter engine, the Changan produces 72 kilowatts of power, and I think it was 119 newton meters of torque. This means it has enough performance for city driving, and if you're a soccer mom who always prefers to play it safe, this is exactly what you are looking for. It has a fuel consumption of 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which which is rather impressive, and it comes with a 5-speed manual transmission for light and effortless driving in the city. The Changan was easy to park due to its unusual proportions. Its narrow dimensions mean that it can squeeze into even the tiniest of parking spots. Thank you so much, Nita.
Thank you, Dee.
Okay, and up next we have our talk tip of the week with Ashley Roos, and she will be informing us about manufactured SABS approved versus non-SABS approved windscreens.
Wind up, go down, wind up, go down. Twist your body backward. We go left, we go right. Turn it around and forward.
Hey Ash.
Hi Dee.
Ash, please tell our viewers more about this topic. I'm laughing because you look so comfortable and like so at ease.
So Dee, as you probably already know, windscreens are created by glass manufacturers and not vehicle manufacturers. So when a specific vehicle manufacturer introduces a new model to their range or anything, they give all these specifications and requirements for the glass to the glass manufacturer that then produces the specific brand's windscreen. The glass manufacturer will then produce these with a certified logo. These windscreens are known as an OEM, Original Equipment Manufacturer windscreen, which is also approved by SABS, the South African Bureau of Standards. After going through the thorough and strict inspections, however, many windscreens are required by the vehicle brands, and the surplus windscreens that have been produced by them are resold to various glass companies by means of an agreement. But this may be done without the OEM or SABS logo, and they are then known as non-approved or aftermarket windscreens. Still, these windscreens have been made through the same process in the same detail with the same machinery and safety standards. The only difference is that they are not certified with the SABS logo. But it is still important to do research, as there are also many glass companies that produce windscreens on their own that do not meet the right standards or have not been approved or tested by SABS.
Okay, so Ash, let's share with our viewers some of the advantages and disadvantages of SABS approved windscreens.
Dee, the biggest advantage is that all the quality and safety standards of those windscreens are met and approved by the SABS and recommended and used by vehicle brands due to their quality and safety standards. Another advantage is the fact that the fit and look of these windscreens are the exact same pristine standard as when the vehicle was originally introduced from the manufacturing line. And the biggest disadvantage is that they are more expensive than a non-SABS approved or aftermarket windscreen, and that some insurance companies do not cover the full amount of the SABS approved or OEM windscreen because they are seen as a risk.
Okay, so Ash, and then what are the advantages and the disadvantages of a non-SABS approved windscreen?
Well, Dee, in this case, the biggest advantage are that they sometimes meet or surpass all the safety standards set by SABS. And then another advantage is that they are generally less expensive than a SABS approved or OEM windscreen. The biggest disadvantage in this case is that they are thinner, improperly fitted, untested for, and sometimes seen as a safety hazard. Another disadvantage is that when vehicle manufacturers recommend that you only replace your windscreen with one of their SABS approved or OEM windscreens, because most vehicles have ADAS, which stands for Advanced Driver Assist System features, and if you have a maintenance or service plan, they will also recommend that you replace your windscreen with one.
Okay, so Ash, I guess that the main question is, and I'm guessing our viewers would also like to know, is which one should our viewers choose?
Okay, so the professionals say that the best way an individual can ensure that a windscreen is certified is to look at the monogram for the DOT number. Vehicle technology is more advanced and newer vehicle models come equipped with ADS features like lane departure warning and rear cross traffic alert and many more. And this requires a windscreen that is SABS or OEM approved to be fitted and used on their vehicles. These features and systems have to see clearly through the sensors and cameras in order to function to the best of their ability. And they won't be able to if your vehicle is fitted with the improper glass or windscreen. If you drive a less recent model, vehicle, however, with no ADSA features, then it is safe to use an aftermarket windscreen.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ash, for sharing another helpful topic about windscreens with us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Dee.
My bestie and your bestie sit down by the fire. Your bestie says she want parties, so can we make these flames go higher? Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go, I need.
And for our final segment of this week's episode, our talk of the town, we have Gina Giani, the dealer principal and owner of Gina Motors. Gina is a born leader with an unimaginable drive and willpower. Insisting on her independence to make up her own mind, she seeks freedom of thought and action, and is steadfast and focused on her goals and will not let anything stand in her way once she's committed to her growth and achievement. Especially, you need that in the motoring industry. Gina believes that the strength of a woman is not measured by the impact that all her challenges and obstacles in life have had on her, but the strength of a woman is determined by her refusal to allow those obstacles to control her and who she becomes. I especially admire her opinion that your attitude in the way you approach problems will be charged with dynamite if you are compassionate and show kindness when trying to comfort or control a difficult situation. Again, in a dealership situation where you are the dealer principal or you are the owner, you need to have those type of qualities. A dear friend, long-time supporter and winner of the MOT 2020 Dealer Principal of the Year, Gina Giani. This segment is proudly brought to you by Sariti Solutions. Hi Gina.
Hi, Desh.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You're welcome, Gina. Gosh, you know what? We have been acquaintances and then friends since my days back at, I'm going to say it, Surf for Cars, a very similar magazine to mine, and you supported me. I remember you gave me the bike, the BAIC brand and the JMC, and you said, Desh, here it is, experience it, and I'm here to offer you the opportunity. And so thank you so much for that, Gina.
Oh, you're most welcome. And again, thank you.
Okay, so Gina, I don't know if we should, like this interview is so different for me, but, and that's because we are such good friends and I look up to you and you are a pillar of strength for me. But I'm still going to start with the usual questions as to where did your journey in motoring South Africa begin?
Well, my father was a very passionate motoring man and I inherited that love. So I was lucky enough to have found my path into the motoring industry.
Okay, and do you find any challenges in the motoring industry that you can share with us and our viewers?
Of course, but I've learned to deal with these challenges. But I think my biggest challenge was always guys thinking that I don't know anything about cars and always trying to persuade me that my opinion was different. So.
Yes. And how did you overcome those challenges?
Well, I always stood my ground and I knew what was right and I followed that. Okay. Eventually people learned.
Gina, as the dealer principal and the owner, there's very few owners, by the way, of dealerships in female owners of dealerships in South Africa. What challenges do you face as an owner and a dealer principal? And then there's a second part to this question as well. What do you do in your dealership that's different? I know that you said this to me even before the interview. I am a feminist. I am not a feminist, by the way, but Gina says I am a feminist. So let's first talk about your challenges as an owner and as a dealer principal, and then let's move on to the second part of the question.
Oh dear. To be very honest with you, Desh, I am so passionate about what I do. I absolutely love the motor industry. And to be very honest, I've got so much support in the motor industry that I really have very little challenges that, well, other than what everybody in the motor industry has. And I'm very hands-on on my business. I like to be there. I like to be involved. I like to be involved in the sales process. I like to be involved sometimes even in the workshop. Get some stains on my shirts. And, yeah, so I really don't focus on the challenges. I focus on the achievements of being in the motor industry, and it's such a rewarding job. It really is.
Right. We were talking about this earlier on, and I love it. You've just hired an apprentice. Let's talk a bit about that.
Yes, so I really would like to grow people, well, ladies in the motor industry especially. Like I mentioned to you earlier on, I wish actually that I knew more about the motor industry when I was younger.
Yes.
And I wish I had more opportunity, to learn more about the motor industry when I was younger. But I was fortunate enough to land up where I am, and I pushed forward, and I would like to give that opportunity. I'd like young girls to know what opportunities are in the motor industry and how rewarding it is to be in the motor industry.
That is something that we often talk about here. Education and empowering girls at school level to make a conscious decision about coming into the motoring industry, because most women, I would say 90% of women that have sat in that chair said, I fell into the motoring industry. I did too. As a journalist, I was an investigative journalist, a community journalist, and I just love cars. So I kind of got an opportunity with an OEM, which was BMW, and that's how I ended up in the motoring industry. But as you're saying, we need this platform to educate women and young girls at school level. So are you offering us your dealership to have our next workshop?
Absolutely, I would love that.
Absolutely.
I would love this.
Right here at home, by the way, we're both from, well, her dealership is in Kempton Park, where I live. So that will be awesome. Okay, so Gina, you've accomplished so much, and I'm so proud of that. But what is it that you wish to accomplish in the future, especially in motoring?
So I think I would very, very much like to grow my dealership.
Right.
And I don't mean in size, I mean in footprint. So I would like to have different branches where I have women that I could train, put them in the right positions, and give them the confidence to really go out there and do it.
I know that you represent the JMC brand.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about that? You are so passionate about it. Let's talk about
So
that.
JMC is actually something that really fell into my lap. And wow, I'm so glad it did. I really feel that it's a growing brand in South Africa. And this is what we need. This is what we need. This is what business owners need. They need affordable transportation for their goods, affordable transportation for staff, and we need to make business more affordable, and that is what JMC does. JMC makes business affordable, and they give quality at the same time, which is a fabulous thing to have.
How's I know that the OEM, I've spoken to Brendan, and they're very supportive OEM. Let's talk a bit about that.
They sure are. They sure are. And I must say, I've never had any issues where they haven't supported me. They've supported me throughout my journey to grow my JMC franchise. They really have. They've always been there. They've always given me assistance where I've needed, and sometimes where I just didn't know anymore which way to go. They were always there. So, and I thank them for that. Thank you, JMC.
I know that there's a lot going on in the workshop of your dealership. Aside from selling cars, and you do a very healthy number of moving units, so Yeah, so let's talk about the workshop. Let's talk about the apprenticeship that you have in place. And the reason I wanted to do this or talk a bit about this with you especially, which I haven't with a lot of ladies that joined me, is simply because it's workshop based. It's about jobs that women would not even anticipate being in. So let's talk about.
Yeah, Desh. So this is something that really, really is exciting me. So I've got my first female apprentice. All right. So I'm really stoked about it. And you know what? To be honest, I just can't wait to see what comes out of this. And I really, really beg of younger ladies to really look into this. I think that a workshop with ladies in is absolutely amazing. It really would be. It would be. Wow! I actually can't stop.
I can see.
Telling you how excited I am about it. Yeah. I really think, and I think that a lady just looks at things differently. They see things, they listen, they take care, they nurture a problem, and this is really what I want to see for the motor industry.
So you talked about a woman listening to a problem or a noise in the car and actually not just diagnosing that problem right there and then, but really talk about that.
No, quite right. I really think that that women really pay more attention to detail. They don't try and overanalyze things, all right? They don't try and be clever about it, okay? They really try and solve the problem. Yes. What I have found with my new apprentice is that she'll start the car, she'll listen, she takes so much care and so much, and there's so much dedication that goes into it.
Right.
And that's why I'm so excited about this, and I really, really can't wait to just get more ladies involved in this.
Yes.
And for me, my goal is to really get as many female apprenticeships as what I possibly can. And I would really love to run my entire workshop on ladies. It really...
Wow, that is so much of passion that came out of that.
Yeah.
And Gina, I said to you earlier on before the interview that I'm not a feminist. I'm not a super feminist. And you said, well, I am a feminist and I am not afraid to say so. And I'd like 100% female dealership. I have nothing. I believe that men and women bring equal to the table, equal value to the table, and it balances each other. But I can see that we might see South Africa's first dealership with 100% women in it. So I'll bring you back when we have that happen, right?
Quite right.
Okay, so Gina, let's talk a bit about the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards. You won the Dealer Principal Award. And how did it feel, and how do you feel about this platform?
Wow, Desh, I got to be honest with you. I think this is the greatest thing anybody has ever done in the motor industry. Really, it is. And I just want to thank MFC again for really recognizing women in the industry. Every single woman out there in the industry, you must feel proud. You must feel proud to be in this industry and that you've made it. Just be proud. It doesn't matter. It's not about winning. It's just about being there and making it. Well done to all of you.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, Gina, because I know I nominated you for the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm so honored. I'm really so honored.
So last year, 2020, we had 1,200 nominees countrywide.
Wow.
This year we have 2,536 nominations.
That's fantastic. That makes me so excited because it shows me there's women out there that can come work for me. So yay!
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. And thank you for that endorsement. And you're right, without the corporate identity and without the alliance with MFC, which is a division of Nedbank, the MWOT, Motoring Woman of the Year Awards would never have reached this, or gone this far so quick.
Quite
so
right.
thank
Quite
you so
right.
much again, MFC. Okay, I would like to ask you this question, Gina. What advice, we talked about women at school level or women in the industry, not in the industry, but wanting to join the industry, what advice would you give to them?
Just go for it. Just go for it. It's an amazing industry. It's fun, and you know what? I know there's a lot of it that's very corporate, but you know what? It is so much fun and it's so rewarding. And ladies, it's not a man's world. It's our world. Promise you. It's all in our hands, and it's all about what we do with it. It really is, and I can't stress enough how important it is to just give it a bash. Just give it a bash, because there are so many successful women in this industry, and this is the industry to be in. I promise you, it is so rewarding, and it's great. It's great. Go for it. Just go for it.
Wow, Gina, like literally, and that's what attracted to me is your passion for what you do. And this car right here, sitting right here, the bike, when you came into the country, you gifted me with that 4 years ago. And when I walked into your dealership, what a beautiful dealership.
Thank you.
It was such friendly staff, and people respect you for your leadership qualities and your leadership and your values. So thank you so much, Gina, for joining us. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, and that for us is the end of yet another episode. Viewers, thank you for watching, supporting and following us once again. Also, please remember to follow us on our social media platforms, and don't forget we have thousands of vehicles on sale to choose from countrywide on our vehicle listing page at www.womantalk.co.za. And remember, viewers, we only advertise for bank accredited dealerships, and Gina's dealership will be one of them soon. Ladies, we know that the process of woman empowerment does not happen overnight, but it is the small increments and lifestyle changes we make daily, such as the habits we adapt, the way in which we carry ourselves, the way we empower each other, and the mindset that we have towards women in motoring that really makes a difference, and that causes a ripple effect within the motoring field, just like Gina right here. It's a ripple effect. That is why I continue to utilize my woman empowerment platforms, MWOT, powered by MFC, a division of Nedbank, and our talk show that is sponsored by Sariti Solutions, to motivate women to make these small changes in order to become an empowered woman in their field, especially those in the motoring industry, and to optimistically inspire other women in their circle to do the same. And that is why I would like to encourage you, my dear viewers, by reminding you that the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me. Thank you for joining us.
Start my truck, let's all jump in. Here we go together. Nice cool breeze and big palm trees. I tell you, life don't